Well, welcome back, ink drinkers. Um, so this time around, we are hoping to give you a little bit of an insight into the mystery books that we love. Last time we kind of viewed through some of those fantasy selections that have kind of shaped us as readers. And today we're going to dive into another genre that has brought us together through our friendship as well.
I can start, especially one that we have both read and enjoyed. Um, it's by El Cosmano and it's Finley Donovan is killing it.
Yes.
If you have ever read like I don't know if I would call it a cozy mystery. It's definitely like a mystery comedy.
Yeah, it
This is
definitely
about
is.
a single mom who is an author. She's
Mm-hmm.
like a mystery, like romance author, and she is meeting with her agent. She's a hot
Mm-hmm.
mess,
She's a
mind you.
hot mess.
She's a little bit of a hot mess.
Recently
She's
divorced.
recently divorced. She's got her toddler's like Cheerios in her purse, and she had to cut gum out of her daughter's
There's
hair in the
hair.
morning.
Yeah, it's just a
And
mess.
she goes to meet her agent and is discussing the plot line of her most recent work in
Yep.
progress and is mistaken for a contract killer. And she is propositioned by somebody to kill their husband, and by some happenstance he ends up dead in her car. So how is she going to get out of that?
Yep.
How did this happen in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
um it is a riot. If you haven't
Yes.
read it, you should definitely pick it up. It is a wild ride. It'll have you rolling on the floor,
Yes, it
but
will.
also great female friendships with a dash of romance.
Dash. Just a small one. Okay, so this one I would consider kind of in that cozy-esque realm as well. This book got me out of a major reading slump.
Oh,
Um, I've brought Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto. This book series, because there's two of them, a third one in the works,
mm-hmm.
follows Vera Wong. She is this little old Asian lady who's running a tea shop and in the middle of San Francisco's Chinatown, and she lives by herself but is a very traditional woman, and superimposes herself on a murder investigation because dead man just appears in her tea shop one morning.
Mm-hmm. And the cops are not doing a good job.
Nope, not according to Vera. Not according to Vera. She superimposes herself not only in this investigation, but the lives of the people that are, not even just suspects, but either witnesses or victims themselves within this. It is heartfelt. It is hysterical. An absolute joy of a read. If you have not picked this series up, you most definitely need to. It's a great one.
um FYI, I strong armed her into reading this one too. I This is the UK edition, but I absolutely love Vera as a protagonist. I will lead with I love Jessie Q Sutanto,
Yes.
because these both made my pile. Mandy explained this one, but this series as well, Dial A for Aunties, is absolutely phenomenal.
Mm.
It follows Madeline, not Madeline, Madeline Chan, and her aunties and her mom. She ends up going on a blind date with a guy and accidentally kills him in the process, and calls her mother and her mother's three sisters for help. Mind you, they all together run a wedding business. She's a photographer. One of the aunts is a florist. One of them bakes. One of them, I think, does the food.
Mm.
And so they are doing a wedding that weekend on at a hotel, like at a venue that her ex-boyfriend runs, that she has not seen since college, and they have this dead body, and how are they going to deal with it? It is hysterical. The interactions between the aunties are like,
Mm,
if you have read Vera and love Vera, the aunties are much like Vera in this one. This has 3 books as well, so that are already out. It's The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties, and Four Aunties and a Wedding. I
mm,
think
mhm.
they're both, or all three, are really good, and I would highly recommend them. They are freaking hysterical, and anything this woman writes, I will read.
Yes. All right. So one of my favorite, uh,
I almost picked that one up too.
so this is a British author, Janice Hallett. She writes, I mean, she's written a whole series of these. Um, they're all separate from each other, so I not series in a way, just a lot of murder mystery
Yeah.
novels.
Mhm.
There is the Christmas appeal that goes, like, if you're gonna
Yeah.
want to read the Christmas appeal, definitely read this one first, because it does tie into the
Mm.
same setting and a lot of the same characters. None of the other ones do, but the way that she formats her books are all
Yes.
through emails and phone calls and just all sorts of different types of media. You might get journal entries, you might get newspaper articles. They're all through that different kind of format. The audiobooks have full cast narration, which is amazing. And at the premise, at the start of each of these books, is for you as the reader, like in this
Yes.
one, you
Mhm.
are a lawyer reviewing the case, to try to find the murder. So, like, as you're reading it, if you're paying close enough attention to details, if you've read a lot of mystery novels the way we
Mhm.
have, interactions, timelines, and things like that, you may be able to solve the case by the time that you've gotten to the end of the book. But you are very much one of the characters reading through, kind of like a cold case file in a way.
Mhm.
I have loved every single book that I have read by Janice Hallett. She's an mystery author for me.
Just the format is like so unique. Like
Hmm.
really, if you want something different in mystery, you should definitely
Yes.
pick her up. I totally agree. And I did see that on my and I was like, I could pick this one up. Um and I was like this close.
That's
It's
all right.
so
I got
good.
us covered.
You do, you do. I'm gonna beat you to the Agatha Christie punch.
Yeah, you are.
And this is probably one you have
Mm.
as well, Murder on the Orient Express. It is a classic. I'm sure many of you, if you are big mystery readers, have read it. Just like the masterful weaving together of
Oh,
the characters
yes.
and the whole story, and how like Murder on a Train, like it is
Hmm.
just, I mean, she is,
Closed room murder mystery.
she's the mother of mystery. Like you
Hmm.
can't get much better than this, in my
Hmm.
opinion. I also was going to throw, and then there were none into this, but I
Hmm.
could not find my copy. Um, it's just like either of those, the way
Hmm.
that the characters come together in the end,
Yeah.
I couldn't. You can't ask for more.
Yeah. And this is one of those Poirot
Mm-hmm.
novels. He's my favorite of her detectives. I have the English publication. It wasn't Orient Express. It was the Cali's Coach.
I have one like that too. Somewhere
Um,
it's smaller,
since
but yeah.
you've pulled out the Agatha Christie, she actually made it into my pile twice. She could have made my whole stack, but I had to narrow it
Right,
down.
right.
So I did pull out. I feel like people know this one, but I don't feel like people have read this one as often. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd
Ackroyd. Mm-hmm.
is a phenomenal, Poirot
Mm-hmm.
mystery. It takes a turn that you don't necessarily expect.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it is kind of that closed room. It's
Mm-hmm.
hardcore old detective investigation. A lot of these books, a lot of the Agatha Christie books, are dealt through dialogue.
Yes.
Because
Mm-hmm.
her detectives are usually either called in after the crime has happened. Sometimes they're there to witness it. There
Mm-hmm.
are a few in that sense or whatever, or like the Miss Marple books, a lot of times she's just kind of eavesdropping and people are just chatting with her because she's this cute
Mm-hmm.
old lady and she's here to solve the mystery and they don't even realize it. But this is, probably one of my other favorites, just for how different it is
Mm-hmm.
from the other detective novels that she writes.
It is. It's a really good one. I agree. Um, my next one, I don't have the first one up. It's the third Thursday Murder Club by Richard
Mhm.
Osman. I absolutely devoured this series. I don't have the first two. on me because I lent them to my mother. We follow a group of seniors that live in a retirement community
Mhm.
in England, and they come together every Thursday to try and solve cold cases. That's why they are the Thursday Murder Club. And so they do this every Thursday, but then a murder happens at their
Mm.
community. And so they, by gummit, they're going to solve it themselves. And so we also here have a found family of
Mhm.
these seniors, and you see like bits of their families like outside, like their actual families, and it's just super heartwarming. You get to see all of these different aspects of um, people in their second chapter, like still doing big
Mhm.
things. And I have really enjoyed every single book. There is a Netflix film for the first one. They do change some things,
Yeah.
so please read the source material. They are fantastic.
So I'm going to take us into the YA realm for my next choice. I picked this one because it's my favorite of the series this author has written, but I love just about everything that this author has put out. I chose The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes.
Yes.
I will say that for those out there that are going to be getting this for their young adults, this is a darker,
Yeah.
it really is. These 17-year-olds are um, put together by an FBI team to look at some cold cases, and they're nitty gritty in their details.
Mm-hmm.
There's blood, there's lots of blood
Yeah.
in particular and things. Um, but you also get some chapters um, through a serial killer's perspective as well. They are what's the word I'm looking for? They are profiling.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
They are profiling different killers, trying to solve cold cases, but in the midst of that, end up on the trail of a live case as it is happening and kind of get thrown into the midst of it. There is a little bit of, some YA teenage, longing and romance for each other, but there's an amazing found family within
Mm-hmm.
this series as well. This is one that I've read a few times, and I would say it's my favorite of the works that she has put out that I've read. There are a couple that I haven't read by her yet. They are on my TBR still, but a great series to check out.
Agreed. This is Criminal Minds. This is YA
Yes.
Criminal Minds.
Yes.
It's super good. I agree with that. There's a team of kids. They each have their own function,
Mm-hmm.
like have a different like duty that they perform on the team. I would totally agree. Jennifer Lynn Barnes, for a very long time, has been somebody that I've read
Mm-hmm.
so many things by her. I discovered her, I think, when I was a teen or either late, maybe late teens. She's a fantastic writer, does a
Yeah.
lot of psychological things. I wish she would write more of these
Yes. I would
because
love to see more of those.
these characters are so good. And she did write a novella that happens after the last book
Mm-hmm.
in the series, which made me think there's some hope. If there's hope, please tell
Yes,
me,
please.
because they are so good. She's been kind of focused on the Inheritance Games
Mm-hmm.
series for the last several years, but
Yeah,
I would love another Naturals book.
absolutely.
So my next one is a more recent find that I found in the
Mm-hmm.
last year, and it's something I would never have guessed that I would like. Um, for a certain aspect, it's the Pentecost and Parker series by Stephen Spotswood. The reason I would not think that I would like this is it happens around the 40s,
Mm-hmm.
and I am not a World War II person. Like, if there's a book that hints that it's during World War II, I won't pick it up. um, but this series in particular, it takes place in New York in the 40s. It follows two kind of Holmes and Watson type of
Mm-hmm.
characters. Um, Lillian Pentecost and Willow Jean Will Parker. And Lillian, being the main detective, actually is afflicted with MS,
Mm-hmm.
multiple sclerosis. And Will is kind of her Watson,
Mm-hmm.
who goes out and takes care of Lillian, but
Yeah.
also goes out and does a lot of the legwork. There is, like I said, disability rep in this. Um, There is LGBTQ rep in this in the 40s, which is absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
Each I've up to date on all of them, and each one is individual in its mystery. There is some like through lines throughout the series, but each one like gets better and better, and I can't wait until the next one comes out, but would totally recommend this. It doesn't delve too much into like the war aspect.
Mhm.
There's some mention of it, but it's more like, oh, that's what happened before, and it focuses mostly on the mystery. um I would definitely pick these up if you like a more like Holmes and Watson type of book, but also with some interesting representation.
All right. So my next one is an author that I have
I almost picked that one up too.
loved. Lucy Foley is a British author. She's a British author that I was very lucky to have gotten to meet. She came over to the United States and was local enough for my husband and I to drive out and get her, to hear her talk about this book in particular. This one kind of toes the line of the darker side, kind of teetering towards horror, more
Mhm.
thrillery than it is just mystery. But she is a huge Agatha Christie fan herself. And you can see that in some of her earlier novels. One of them in particular has very big and then there were none vibes. And I have just loved her writing. She tells her mysteries through a set of like 6 to 8 characters for each one of her
Yeah.
books, and it progresses the storyline. You see different characters' motives as they are trying to figure out, and you as the reader are trying to figure out what in the world has happened within the murder, the mystery that has happened in each one of her books. They have all been very different, great diverse cast within all of her books, just phenomenal reads. I'm excited because Lucy Foley has been picked as the next author to carry on Agatha Christie's legacy.
Ooh.
She is going to be publishing the next Miss Marple book. The
Hmm.
way Sophie Hannah has, I'm pretty sure that's the right author's name. Sophie Hannah has continued the Poirot books with a modern um, publication of them. The company reached out to Lucy Foley and she will be publishing
Hmm.
a new Miss Marple in the future. So I'm very excited to see somebody that loves that author
Yeah.
and like plays so much homage to her within her own writing to get a chance to take on one of her all-time favorite characters as well. So,
I almost picked that one up too because that one in particular is one of my
oh,
favorites.
it's so good.
So I couldn't find my original, my first
I
in
almost
this
put this
series.
on there.
It's the Jacoby series by William Ritter. This is actually the continuation
Mm,
series, Rook, but Jacoby is also kind of a
mm-hmm.
Sherlock. You'll again see a pattern.
Yes.
But he's like, this is YA, and he's like a paranormal Sherlock kind
Mm-hmm.
of detective. And actually, we're introduced to him in a very Sherlock and Holmes
Yeah.
or Sherlock and Watson way because Abigail Rook um, has traveled to the Americas and like meets him in town.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking for a job and he takes her on as like his assistant. And he has this like paranormal sight that he can
Mm-hmm.
see like these different mythical creatures and solves paranormal crimes in town. And each book is so good, so heartwarming. You get to see different backgrounds of different characters, and there is a through line through all
Mm-hmm.
4 books. And
Yes.
then this one came out. I almost had lost hope that we wouldn't get any more, and
Yeah.
then this came out recently in the last couple of years. And at the end of this one, I think there's hope for
I
more.
hope there's hope for more because I love this series too.
Another one with a found family, absolutely magical. It's one of the few YA that I think I will continue to read.
Mm-hmm.
I've felt myself move more towards adult in the last year or so, but these absolutely amazing.
Yes. 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 Okay, so you and I talk about this book a lot,
I
Murder in the
couldn't find my
Family.
copy. Yes. Oh, good.
Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter, another British author. Um, This book is also one of those books that's told in a different kind of format.
Yes.
You are not reading a narrative. You are reading this through an investigation. So this family is being interviewed for kind of like a cold case on a murder that happened, a death that happened at their home, and there's being a documentary made of it. So you're getting to see the production of it. You're seeing interviews. Um, Again, the audiobook, highly recommend
Yes.
checking it out because it's
Mhm.
another one that gives you multiple narrators to give you full effect. If I'm remembering correctly, because it's been a little bit since I've read this one, you also get some audio sound effects as well
Mhm.
in different
Yes.
parts of the audio. But this one kept me on the edge of my seat. I was really worried with it being kind of that documentary style that it would go either falling flat towards the end or the twist would be too easy to see. But this one
Mhm.
kept me on my toes, edge of my seat the whole time. It's a phenomenal mystery.
And I hope we get more from her. I
Hmm.
absolutely loved that. It came out of like left field.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about her. And then when I listened to that, like I devoured, when
Yeah.
I say I devoured that book, it was done in a day. It was
Hmm.
so good. I could not put it down. Would also highly recommend that one. I know I said I pull away from YA, but like this is my other
Oh, yep.
YA
Great choice.
like entry into my list. And this is like
Yes,
paranormal
very.
mystery. This series, the Diviner series by Libba Bray, is one of my all-time favorite series.
Hmm.
So much so that I also have special editions of these ones. It follows a group of like teens in New York, and in like
Hmm.
I think is it the 1920s?
20s.
It's the
Hmm.
1920s, and they all like have differing like kind of special supernatural powers,
Powers.
and there
Hmm.
are supernatural things happening in New
Hmm.
York, and they all kind of come together in this weird like paths crossing type of
Hmm.
way, to kind of defeat the big bad that's happening. The first one, the first person you meet is Evie O'Neill, and if she touches things,
Hmm.
she can like see like memories or past events that have to deal with the person that owns that thing. And she kind of gets into a little bit of trouble in her town in Ohio. And so she's sent to live with her uncle, who runs like this paranormal museum
Museum.
that people call the Museum of the Creepy Crawlies, um, in New York. And there's something supernatural
Hmm.
happening nearby with this guy called Naughty John. And so things start to happen. She gets kind of pulled in with some other teens that are kind of around her in
Hmm.
New York, and the series goes on for 4 books. It is absolutely amazing. Um, and just to like see New York at that time and
Yeah.
how all of these stories are perfectly woven
Hmm.
together is is masterful.
Yeah.
So if you do like a good paranormal mystery, don't write it off because it's YA, because this is absolutely phenomenal.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. Okay, so this is a book that I probably need to read more of by this author, but this is the only one I have read by her. The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware.
You've suggested that to me so many times, and I need to pick it up.
This is a very psychological thriller when it comes into the mystery genre. And this one keeps you as a reader guessing from start to finish. Our main character goes to a home to kind of be like a nanny housekeeper for this
Hmm.
little, slightly more prestigious family. And some odd things are happening. And as a reader, you're questioning, is she being set up? Is it paranormal? What's going on? And when I say that I've read a lot of mysteries
Mhm.
and I can usually pinpoint some of the things that are happening in the book, this one, when I finally got to the end, I was completely caught off guard. I
Hmm.
still, years later, think of this book like this is a phenomenal, like, oh my gosh, what just happened kind of feel when you are reading a thriller or a mystery. Um, like I said, I need to go back and read more by this author. I feel like this one was so good that I'm worried the others will not live up to the hype that I've made
Yeah.
for her in my own brain based on this book. So if you've heard a lot about Ruth Ware, I'm going to say this is where you should start. Like, you want to see her phenomenal writing, the way she can get you involved into a story and really question your own sanity. This is the one to pick up for
I've
sure.
heard so much about her, and that book in particular, I definitely need to put that on my
Oh,
list.
it's phenomenal.
Okay, so the next author I have 2 books for, and it toes the line. I'm gonna
Oh,
put Stephen King in this because he does not only write
he
horror, he
doesn't.
writes
Yep.
things that I would say are like mystery thriller.
Hmm.
And these are 2 that I've read in the last year. One because of book club, one just on recommendation from those who will not be named.
This
um,
is what I strong armed her into.
this is true. I read the entire Mr. Mercedes trilogy, and Stephen King, if you've read him, you know he writes in a very gritty, captivating way.
Hmm.
And this series, following a retired detective
Yes.
who has
Oh.
been contacted by a killer he didn't catch. And so he is going using a couple of like ragtag team to find this killer and capture him finally. It's everything you want.
Yeah.
It's gritty. He's, a guy who's down on his luck who might
Mhm.
actually be considering ending it all. And now he has a new purpose to live.
Yeah.
And he takes in like these different characters to to solve this case because he
Yeah.
knows he can do it. And it's like a cat and mouse with the
Mhm.
killer, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I would recommend this one if you want something that's dark,
Mhm.
but also is more of that cat and mouse. Definitely pick up this one.
Yeah.
The
I
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I completely agree. And for those out there, I'm gonna, because somebody else in my life has accidentally spoiled this series for themselves. Um, the show doesn't do it, but the book does. Outsider by him. Don't read that unless you've read this trilogy. Just
Yes.
save
Hmm.
yourself from ruining some spoil or giving yourself some spoilers to this original trilogy, where he said that Holly, one of the characters in this book, is one of his favorites to write, which is why
Hmm.
he's continuing to write her now in the present, and everything. But to follow her development through this series and now her own spinoff series has been wonderful. And the next book you're about to put up, I almost put this in my stack.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely look up the different series for this because there is the original trilogy and then there's also the Holly books, which would give you background into who Holly is.
Yeah.
So make sure you look that up before you start. But yes, this was a book club pick for us.
Amazing read.
11/22/63 about the Kennedy assassination
Mhm,
and an attempt to go back in time to stop
mhm,
it. Yes, it is that chunky, but it is that worth it.
mhm.
Um,
And the audiobook's great.
the audiobook is phenomenal. It is a Hulu show. I have not watched it. I know you
Mhm,
have. But the way that he writes the time travel
mhm,
aspects of it and the different characters and how the main character decides to take on this task
mhm.
of saving the president is absolutely just like masterful. I
Yes.
would suggest this. Like, you're trying to figure out how he's going to do it. How is he
Mhm.
going to pull this off? What does he need to do? How is this even happening? I don't know if I would call it a traditional mystery, but I feel like it is that kind of like mystery thriller. How are we going to, get through this, but also a little bit of sci-fi. So if
Does
you
it?
like a
Yeah.
little sci-fi in your
Yep.
mystery, definitely pick this one up. I know it seems intimidating, but it is actually pretty accessible,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's just something different
Mhm. There's a
to give
really
a
nice
try.
drop of romance in there as well.
There is, and getting to see like historical things, and
Yes.
he does have elements like references to
Oh,
other
yeah.
works and stuff. So if you are a big Stephen King fan and you haven't read this one, you'll also get like hints of things from his other books and series in it, which is
Yeah.
a fun thing. And I didn't even get them all because I haven't read a ton,
Yeah.
but hearing like other people talk about the references is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, there's some really great Easter eggs that he
Yes, that's the word I'm looking
throws
for.
into that novel itself. And none of them are really spoilery. They're just
Mhm.
kind of like, you know, like a little cherry on top for, I think, his fan base to like
Mhm.
get a little glimpse of different things from his works for sure. Okay, so I'm going one last YA. I know you said you didn't put this in there, but I decided to pull
I
out
was going
Truly
to.
Devious. And I'm doing the caveat of the ones that relate to each other versus
Yes.
the standalones. This follows Stevie Bell,
Mhm.
who gets a scholarship and invitation to the Ellingham Academy, which is a private school in Vermont. And there's a cold case file about the founder's daughter and wife that she has made her like project to kind of
Mhm.
solve while she is there. It's a ragtag team of teenagers, another found family,
Mhm.
and everything. And there's just, I don't know, there's cool references to some mystery literature. There's great intrigue. There's traps. There's puzzles. There's, I mean, just
Mhm.
everything that you could want. Um, it's not dark like the Naturals series is. It's a lot more lighthearted than
Mhm.
those. But this is a great mystery series in itself.
Well, and the way that it's written, it's you get flashbacks from when the
Yes.
crime happened. So you have present day Stevie Bell and her friends first trying to solve the cold case as her capstone, but
Hmm.
also you get little glimpses of I think it's the
Iris and
1930s.
Alice,
That might be it.
1936. Yep.
It's in the 1930s when the crime actually happened. So you get like little snippets. So you can
Hmm.
also try to solve the crime
Yeah.
as it's happening. So it's really good.
Yeah. So that's a good one.
I am at my last one
Oh, because you doubled up.
because I doubled up and also we matched for a couple of them.
Yeah.
And we talked about
Oh, yeah.
this series before during our anticipated reads.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the Monster Hunter mysteries. This is one I actually haven't read yet.
It's a good
It's
one.
so good. The series is, and it follows a cryptozoologist who doesn't exactly believe that cryptids exist, but she wants to. You know,
Yeah.
she goes into every mystery saying that I really hope
Hmm.
that I find the cryptid, but I'm gonna investigate it like it's not real.
Yeah.
And she owns like this eclectic, like
Hmm.
kind of bookshop, but also like odds and
Ends.
ends
Yep.
kind of place. And people come to her and they're like, hey, we have this weird thing going on. The first one being, hey, we think there might be a lake
Yeah.
monster. It might be, Nessie out here in, I think it's Lake Michigan or Lake Superior. And so she goes out to investigate, and each one,
Hmm.
they're episodic, but there's characters that go through multiple
Hmm.
books. And I really just love her. I
Yeah.
love the main character. She's funny, she's a little odd, and each one is heartwarming. It's
Hmm.
cozy but fun, and I
Hmm.
think that's my favorite part. That and getting to see how she investigates all these cryptids
Yeah.
and if they're real or not.
Yeah.
I won't spoil.
Okay. So I don't know if this is me breaking the rules at all, but I pulled a true crime out for my last pick.
It's still mystery,
It's
yeah,
mystery,
adjacent.
but this true crime novel, Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese just did a movie on it, which is a really good reflection of the work that went into writing this book itself. But this book does not feel like you're reading a nonfiction book. Like it does not feel like you're going through records and just getting all these facts. Like I felt for the Osage Nation that was being affected in Oklahoma through this major crime spree. Without giving major spoilers, um, even if you've watched the movie, I would highly recommend going back to read the source material because you get so much more richness and depth to the history behind everything that went down, I could not put this one down. Like, it felt like I was reading a fictionalized novel, but then I have to like check myself and be like, no, this like legitimately happened. It is a phenomenal read. David Gran does an amazing job of capturing um, the lives, the crimes, the community, just every aspect of this mystery in and of itself. I've read a couple other of his nonfiction works, and they are all just so easy to read. They captivate you from start to finish. So if you're wanting to dabble because you like mystery into some true crime, I would say and he doesn't just do true crime, he does some other mystery novels and things like that. He did one on a Sherlock Holmes cold casey kind of thing as well. And so it's just kind of like his mystery research, but he's a phenomenal writer and a great way to start to see if maybe nonfiction is somewhere you want to go. All right, we did it.
Cool. You know what? I think we have a great couple of stacks.
Hmm.
Um, if you've noticed, we have a lot of found family. So if you have found family recs, please send them our way. I hope this gives you an idea of the variety of mystery that we read. We aren't just, we don't just read cozy, or we don't just read,
Hmm.
classics. We read everything. And these, again, like we said with fantasy, not exhaustive,
Yep.
not in any order.
No. Mm-mm.
We read pretty much all kinds
Yeah.
of mystery, and we love a new and unique format.
Hmm.
So if you have any suggestions, send them our way. If you've read any of these, tell us what you thought.
Yes.
um, and if there's any, again, like we said before, if there's any you would like to see as a book club pick, we
Yeah.
would love to read these with you as well. I mean, we've obviously read them already, but and in some cases reread them several times.
Several times. Yep.
um, so let us know if there are any that you guys would like to see.
Till next time.